Welcome to all of you. In this video, we will discuss all the in-text and important question answers of the chapter Long Walk to Freedom by Nelson Mandela. So let's start with the first activity of the chapter. In column A are some expressions you will find in the text. Make a guess and match this expression with an appropriate meaning from column B. Number 1. A rainbow gathering of different colors and nations. Its answer is a beautiful coming together of various people like the colors in a rainbow. 2 number. The seat of white supremacy. Its answer is the center of racial superiority. Number 3. Be overwhelmed with a sense of history. Its answer is feel deeply emotional, remembering and understanding all the past events that have led up to the moment. Number 4. Resilience that defies the imagination. Its answer is a great ability, almost unimaginable, to remain unchanged by suffering, not losing hope, goodness or courage. Number 5. A glimmer of humanity. Its answer is a sign of human feeling, goodness, kindness, pity, justice, etc. Number 6. A twilight existence. Its answer is a half-secret life, like a half lived in the fading light between sunset and darkness. Now let's move on to our in-text questions. Question number 2. Where did the ceremonies take place? Can you name any public buildings in India that are made of sandstones? Answer. The Union Buildings in Pretoria, a lovely sandstone amphitheatre, was the venue of the ceremonies. This was the largest gathering of dignitaries and international leaders from several nations on South African soil. Some notable sandstone monuments in India are Red Fort, Rashtrapati Bhavan, Supreme Court of India, Madras High Court, etc. Question number 3. Can you say how 10 May is an autumn day in South Africa? Answer. 10 May 1994 had been deemed as autumn day in South Africa because of its significance and also keeping a correlation with the prevalent season at that time. As autumn is associated with abundance and prosperity, Autumn Day marked the day of South Africa's largest gathering of dignitaries and international leaders to witness the installation of the country's first non-racial democratic government. Moreover, as South Africa lies in the southern hemisphere, the autumn season falls in the month of May. Question number 4. At the beginning of his speech, Mandela mentions an extraordinary human disaster. What does he mean by this? What is the glorious human achievement he speaks of at the end? Answer. By an extraordinary human disaster in his speech, Mandela referred to the practice of apartheid in South Africa. The discrimination done by the British government made the native Africans and the colored people suffer a lot during this practice. They were deprived of the right to freedom. Mandela himself was imprisoned on the Robben Island for 18 years, where he was mistreated by the authorities. At the end of his speech, Mandela speaks of glorious human achievement, signifying his becoming of the first black president of South Africa, putting an end to the sufferings of the native Africans due to apartheid. And number 5. What does Mandela thank the international leaders for? Answer. Mandela thanked the international leaders for attending the historical oath-taking ceremony of the first black president of South Africa. Thus, Mandela felt extremely privileged to welcome those international leaders to witness such a wonderful gesture of international recognition to a newly born free democratic nation. Question number 6. What ideals does he set out for the future of South Africa? Answer. After becoming the first black president of South Africa, Mandela set the ideals of liberating the people of South Africa from the bondage of poverty, deprivation, suffering, gender and other discrimination. Question number 7. What do the military generals do? How was their attitude changed and why? Answer. The highest military generals and police saluted and pledged their loyalty to Mandela. Their attitudes had changed from the apartheid era when they would have arrested and disrespected Mandela or any other black people instead of saluting him. This change in their attitude was due to Mandela becoming their president then. Question number 8. Why were two national anthems sung? Answer. On the oath-taking ceremony, two national anthems were sung as a symbol of equality of rights between the whites and the blacks. The whites sang Kose Sikelel Afrika and the blacks sang Die Stem. That was the old anthem of the Republic. Question number 9. How does Mandela describe the systems of government in his country? 1. In the first decade and 2. In the final decade of the 20th century. Answer. The system of government as described by Mandela were 1. In the first decade. In the first decade, there was the supremacy of the white-skinned people over the blacks. The whites patched up their differences and created the one of the harshest inhuman societies the world has ever witnessed. 2. In the final decade. In the final decade of the 20th century, there was a turnover of the previous system of government. This new system of government provided rights and freedom to all people irrespective of their skin color. Question number 10. What does courage mean to Mandela? Mandela's definition of courage was not the absence of fear but the victory over it. Thus he says that a brave man is not the one who doesn't feel afraid but one who conquers it. Question number 11. What does he think is natural, to love or to hate? Answer. Mandela thought that love is a natural instinct of human heart rather than hate. Question number 12. What twin obligations does Mandela mention? Answer. According to Mandela, every person has two obligations in life. The first one is to his family, parents, wife and children. The second one is to his people, community and country. These two were the twin obligations of Mandela. Question number 13. What did being free mean to Mandela as a boy and as a student? How does he contrast these transitory freedoms with the basic and honorable freedoms? Answer. The meaning of freedom to Mandela was different at different stages. As a boy, freedom is to be free to wander, swim, run, roast minis and to ride bulls. Again, as a student, freedom is to be free to stay out at night, read whatever pleased him and go anywhere he wanted. But after growing up, Mandela realized that childhood and school days freedoms were transitory freedoms. Thus, he contrasted these transitory freedoms with the basic and honorable freedoms and said that the latter meant equality and honor for all and also to live with dignity and self-respect. Question number 14. Does Mandela think the oppressor is free? Why or why not? Answer. No, Mandela doesn't think the oppressor to be free because according to him, a man who takes away another man's freedom is a prisoner of hatred. Question number 15. Why did such a large number of international leaders attend the inauguration? What did it signify the triumph of? Answer. A large number of international leaders attended the inauguration ceremony to show his appreciation for the struggle of the native Africans against the concept of apartheid and also to pay their respect to the newly formed government. Thus, the international leaders showed that all the nations were standing in unity with Africa. Question number 16. What does Mandela mean when he says he is simply the sum of all those African patriots who had gone before him? Answer. By saying that he is simply the sum of all those African patriots, Mandela showed his gratefulness to all the freedom fighters who had sacrificed their lives and paved the path of unity and cooperation among the native Africans. Their sacrifices was an inspiration for Mandela, and he followed their footsteps to fulfill his desire to free their country from the shackles of British oppression. Thus, Mandela offered his tribute to the freedom fighters through the given words. 17. Would you agree that the depth of oppression creates heights of character? How does Mandela illustrate this? Can you add your own examples to this argument? Answer. Yes, I agree that depth of oppression creates heights of character. Mandela illustrates this by mentioning about the lives of great heroes of South Africa such as Oliver Tambo, Walter Sisulu, Chief Lutulis, Yusuf Dabos, Bram Features, Robert Sobukwe, etc., who after facing adverse situations discovered their strength and came out against oppression. The given statement is also established in India's fight for freedom. Great leaders like Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose, Mahatma Gandhi, Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel, Lala Lajpat Rai, Chandrasekhar Azad, Bhagat Singh, etc. did not give up to the oppression of the British rule and fought for the nation's freedom. Number 18. How did Mandela's understanding of freedom change with his age and experience? Answer. Mandela's concept about freedom had changed with age and experience. As a boy, his concept of freedom is to be free to wander, swim, run, roast maize and to ride bulls. As he belonged to an African tribe, he believed that he just have to obey his father and abide by the customs of his tribe. He was thus concerned about his own freedom. As he grew up in his student life, he thought freedom is to be free to stay out at night, read whatever pleased him and go anywhere he wanted. But as he grew older and gained experience in life, he realized how selfish his view of freedom was. He realized that the real meaning of freedom must include the freedom of all the black people from the British oppression. Thus, with age and experience, Mandela understood the essence of freedom for all people. Question number 19. How did Mandela's hunger for freedom change his life? Answer. As Mandela gained freedom and experience, he understood that it was not just his freedom that was being curtailed, but also the freedom of all blacks. He desired of a non-racial society so that all the black people can live with dignity and self-respect. This changed Mandela from a frightened man to a bold and self-sacrificing person. Thus, the hunger for his own freedom became the hunger for the freedom of his people. Now let's move on to some other important questions from this chapter. Question number 20. What is apartheid? Answer. Apartheid refers to the system of segregation or discrimination of people on the basis of their race. It was prevalent in South Africa, where white people were considered superior to the people of other races. Question number 21. What is the name of Nelson Mandela's autobiography? The name of Nelson Mandela's autobiography is Long Walk to Freedom. Question number 23. Who accompanied Mandela on that day? Answer. Nelson Mandela's daughter Janani accompanied him on that day. Question number 24. What did Mandela say about the wealth of his country? Answer. According to Mandela, the greatest wealth of his country is not minerals and gems, but its good and honest people. Question number 25. What did Mandela pledge when his turn came? Answer. In the oath-taking ceremony, when Mandela's turn came, he pledged to obey and uphold the constitution and to devote himself to the well-being of the republic and his people. Question number 26. How many years did Mandela spend in prison? Mandela spent 30 years in prison. Question number 27. Who was sworn in as second deputy president? Answer. Mr. De Klerk was sworn as the second deputy president. Question number 28. What is an amphitheater? Answer. An amphitheater is a building without a roof with many rows of seats rising in steps. Question number 29. Who was sworn as the first deputy president? Answer. Thabo Mbeki was sworn as the first deputy president. Number 30. What were the colors emitted by the chevron of Impala jets? Answer. The chevron of Impala jets emitted black, red, green, blue and gold smoke of the new South African flag. Question number 31. Who is Janani? Answer. Janani was the daughter of Mr. Nelson Mandela. Question number 32. Who was first sworn in on the podium and as what? Answer. Mr. De Klerk was the first to sworn in on the podium as the second deputy president. Question number 33. What national anthem was sung by the whites? Kosi Sikelel Africa was the national anthem sung by the whites. Question number 34. What was the national anthem sung by the blacks? Answer. Die Stem, the old national anthem of the Republic, was sung by the blacks. Question number 35. From whom did Mandela learn the meaning of courage? Answer. Nelson Mandela learned the meaning of courage from comrades and great patriots in the struggle for freedom against apartheid. Question number 36. What is ANC? How many seats did ANC won? Answer. ANC stands for African National Congress. In the first democratic election of South Africa in 1994, ANC won 252 of the 400 seats. Question number 37. How did Mandela spend the few days before the inauguration? Answer. In the few days before the inauguration, Mandela was besieged by dignitaries and world leaders who were coming to pay their respect before the inauguration. Question number 38. When did the first democratic election of South Africa took place? Answer. The first democratic election of South Africa took place in 1994.